យើងខ្ញុំប្រកាសណាសូមក្រាបថ្វាយបង្គំព្រះពុទ្ធព្រះធម៌ព្រះសង្ឃជាទីសក្ការៈសូមគោរពជំរាបសួរអាយឧត្តមសាស្ត្រាចារ្យមនិតដើមឆិតរីអគ្គស្ថាបនិកអគ្គមេបញ្ជាការឧត្តមក្រុមប្រឹក្សាខ្មែរជួយខ្មែររំដោះជាតិជាទីគោរពដល់ខ្ពង់ខ្ពស់និងសូមជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនខ្មែរទូទាំងសកលលោកនេះជាកម្មវិធីទស្សនៈស្ត្រីលើកទី25ថ្ងៃនេះយើងមានប្រធានបទស្ដីអំពីភូមិសាស្ត្រនយោបាយភូមិសាស្ត្រពាណិជ្ជកម្មភូមិសាស្ត្រសេដ្ឋកិច្ចនៅក្រោមរបបសាធារណរដ្ឋខ្មែរថ្មីនៅអាស៊ានយើងខ្ញុំនឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសមានដូចតទៅ Good evening and welcome back to Supreme Council of Khmer for Rescue Khmer Lady Viewpoint, our number 25th show. And now I would like to introduce our panelists this evening. We have Ms. Chhyna Chan and we have Ms. Kalyan Nou. And my name is Chhovy. I am your host tonight. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you, Bong.
Yes, good to see
Thank
both.
you, Bong.
Yes.
Pleasure to be back.
Yes. Our last show, number 24, cover Empower Khmer Farmer Community. We opened the hardship of 85% our people, sharing the possibility and opportunity under the new government with Lok Pratin leading the charges. Tonight, we will attempt to share what Khmer as a nation will be like under Lok Pratin Professor Dr. Racy Dam wisdom of leadership under leadership of puppet of a foreign government for 29 years. Cambodia is the basement of ASEAN is every sector except the corruption part, 157 out of 180 countries for year 2021. And as the leader of the most corrupted ASEAN. To kick off this topic, we will have a short video. Mommy, please play the video. Thank you, Bomani. We do not have to say much because the video is show who is the man that will salvage our country, the key man, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam. Ladies and gentlemen, Own Kalyan and Own Chhyna, please share your thought. How about Own Kalyan go first, Own?
Yes, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Bong. I would like to add a couple words to the video earlier. The video also shows that we have a special envoys in Laos and Vietnam right now. Chhyna and Bong Chhovy, this is very, very powerful. A special envoy in Vietnam and Laos.
I agree, Bong.
Yeah, we only see, in China, but we do have special envoys in Laos and Vietnam right now.
That's amazing.
Yes. And ladies, for the last 29 years since 1993, the world body and the 18 signatories of the 1991 Cambodia Paris Peace Agreement have granted this puppet government in $21 billion in grants and $15 billion in sovereign loans. Bong, as you said, Cambodia is a money laundering haven for being listed as 157 out of 180 countries by Transparency International for 2021. And with the GDP only $26 billion, the country has 145 banks with 238 casinos. Bong sort of shared an article yesterday, so I need to, just to share with everyone today.
Sure.
Those casinos are being used for human trafficking.
Oh my gosh.
And they are committing crimes right now, and by the Chinese and the Vietnamese. And also, what we found out, that Naga Casino, they overworked their employees, which are called KHMER, and below pay. And this is called human right abuse. Okay, this is the human, underpay with long hours, and this is what's happening right now in Naga Casino.
This is something that is hard to fathom, Bong.
Yes, it is, and for a small country, Cambodia has more casinos than Las Vegas and Macau. Us as CKHK and all the Cambodian people, we will not accept this kind of raiding for our country when we take over the country. Corruptions will be 100% wiped out, and we will see rags to riches, darkness to brightness in Cambodia. Bong sort of said that Lopatian, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, is committed to completing it within 5 years, which means that Lo gonna bring prosperity and equality of life to Khmer land and Khmer and Kon Khmer within 5 years after the new Khmer Republic government takes controls. Bong.
Bong Kalyan, you are absolutely correct about that. I have heard many times that Khmer will be a well-respected nation in ASEAN in 5 years when Khmer Republic take over the current government, Bong.
Yeah, thank you, lady. Now let's come back to the responsibility and duty of ASEAN. What has Cambodia done or beneficial to ASEAN since joining 1999, ladies?
Well, Bong Kalyan, let me have this floor. Cambodia was kept away from ASEAN because Cambodian leaders are pro-communist and not in the line with the core principle on which ASEAN was built. This, what was told by former Singapore Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew.
What did he say exactly, Chhyna?
Well, Bong, precisely, this is what he said. Due to its lack of share value with the bloc founding members, ASEAN should not have admitted Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam as members. This was in the 90s, Bong. The older member of ASEAN share common value and an antipathy to communism. This was a leaked diplomatic wire that the world got from WikiLeaks in October 2010.
Wow. Yes, that's correct, Chhyna. And the ASEAN bloc was founded in 1967 as a bulwark or bloc, the expansion of communism in Southeast Asia with Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand as members. And, as we all know that Cambodians leaders are in love with the communist regime, and it cost 3 million plus of innocent lives. You know, this is why we are making the revolution to make the correction and the respect of ASEAN. And FYI, ladies, you know, ASEAN member, the government of Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore are waiting for this revolution to happen, which is soon.
Wow. Okay, Chhyna, what do you have the data of GDP per capita for all the ASEAN? Can you please read out loud for our audience on?
Well, sure, Bong. There are 10 members of ASEAN, and here are the following data on the GDP per capita of each country. Let me read my list down, starting from Brunei, which is 79,816, and then Singapore, 79,575, and then Malaysia, 13,268, and Thailand is number 4, which is at 7,448, and then number 5, Indonesia, 4,690, and then number 6, Vietnam, 4,121, and then Indonesia, and then Indonesian, 4,690, and then Vietnam, which is at number 6, 4,121, and then number 7, Philippines, 3,686, number 8, Laos, 2,318, and then number 9, Cambodia, which is 1,842, number 10, Myanmar, 1,285. As you can see, Cambodia is number 9 out of 10, which is the basement bottom. In other words, our people are making about $5 per day on an average basis, Bong.
Oh, thank you, On.
Yeah, isn't it sad, ladies? You know,
Yes.
what makes the matter worse? That it represents 85% of our people, or about 3 million families. And 27% of the government budgets have been subsidized by loans and grants from the foreign governments since 1993. And other sad number is the budget expenditure posted on the current puppet government Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. They spent $1.6 billion on defense, about 20% of the national budget. And you know, they compare to Thailand, they spend about 5% on their national budget, which is about $6.5 billion. How can this current puppet regime lift our people out of poverty when they only focus on keeping the opponents silent?
You know what, lady, I agree. They have been campaigning, thank you to Pich, but they are investing 20% of the international budget on defense. Let's focus on the growth here. I know that Local Tien will invest it heavily when the new Khmer Republic take over. Now let's look at what has happened since 1993, the amount of foreign investment. I am talking about FDI, foreign and direct investment. Chhyna, can you please help share your thoughts, please, On?
Yeah, sure, Bong. The FDI comes in many kinds of investment. The legit and the fly-by-night sucks up gold Khmer blood, which cost the current government to place on FDI. You know, we all know that the number does not lie. Since 1993, only 41 billion in FDI and China has taken the lead. For 29 years, we only accumulated 41 billion on an average of only 41 billions per year. So this is very low, Bong. You get FDI, federal direct investment, to create jobs inside the country, not to suck up Gong Khmer's blood and chase them to work in the neighboring country. The figure for migrant workers in Thailand is about 1.4 million. This is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs figure number, Bong. This is a joke and an extensive scheme to kill Gong Khmer. They are based on the legal migrant workers who can afford a passport of 110 US and exit visa, Bong.
That is a joke. Can you please share the comment on this statement, On?
Well, absolutely, Bong. The FDI, federal direct investment, has been 41 billion since 1993, with the finance sector leading with $9 billion. You know, I really don't understand why do we need so many banks, 145 plus bank, which really isn't necessary. We all know 85% of our people, and which is 2.5 million are farmers, and 8 billions, and on an average of 3,800 per loan, the double their yearly income of 1,800 per year. These number kept Kon Khmer in the bottom of ASEAN. I am quite perturbed. Then when we talked about this number, I am extremely furious, Mong Chhovy. I know the pain of these people, and that is so great. I had lived in Cambodia with the local there for several years. I completely understand what Kon Khmer is going through, especially they're suffering in many phases of life. Mong Chhovy, those 145 banks were designed to give loans to Kon Khmer that they could not be able to pay back. Those 145 banks are there to wash the dirty or counterfeit money for China, and the 238 casinos in Sihanoukville, which are owned by the Chinese. Yes, I am furious too.
Wow, thank you, Chhyna. Actually, you mentioned about the 238 casino. That's a lot of casino. Okay, Kalyan, you have any comment on that?
Wong, you all have, a right to be mad at this. So many casinos and so many banks for a small country. Hun Sen and his family are the ones that sucked up Kon Khmer's blood. And I am sure that SCKHK, under the leadership of Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, will turn the country around to become a respectful nation in ASEAN, Bong. And, so much planning and projects are in place that are ready to kick off when the green lights comes on. Hun Sen has no control over his policy. Hun Sen is just a dictator with no policy of growth. Hun Sen bowed to China in 2012 during the dispute in the South China Sea with ASEAN members. China, kept Hun Sen in power for their geopolitical gain in Southeast Asia. But you know what? It will end soon, ladies. You know why? Because, back in 1945, after World War II, the world superpower mandates the British and the United States to deter communists from expanding around the globe. With Lopatin's Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, China's expansion with Hun Sen will not happen. The Committee of 300 has planned it almost 60 years ago, since Lopatin was only 13 years old. And the Committee of 300 has trained Lopatin to stop communist expansion in Asia Pacific. And you know what? Now it is the right time to do. And ladies, our liberation is right in front of us. And as Cambodian, we all as Kon Khmer should be ready to share our responsibility.
Thank you, Kalyan. You give me the goosebumps. Okay, Chhyna, sorry.
You're right, Mong Chhovy and Mong Kalyan. Everything, we need to believe that everything has an ending. Mong Kalyan is correct, Mong Chhovy. We are ready to share our responsibility. Hun Sen ending will be lost in the storm of Dr. Ray C. Dam. Nothing could stop him. Nobody could stop him. Our Lopatin Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, which we call it in Spanish, the word is nada. So if Hun Sen failed to understand Lopatin's determination, his family faith is over, and they will have no future destination. Ladies, I truly admire Lopatin's patience and courage in planning this out thoroughly. Hun Sen tried to kill him, and he kept his vendetta aside. He has compassion for Kon Khmer. Therefore, our country's stability is in Lopatin's, it's his priority. Most people will march into Cambodia and take Hun Sen's head off with a vengeance if this ever happened to them, especially those with the same status, money, power, and political connections that Lopatin Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam has, is in every corner of the world, not to mention his CIA status. And, I guess I need to stop before my blood pressure goes up, Mong Chhovy.
Good idea, Chhyna. Yeah. You got me worked up to just now. We must not get too emotional tonight, but you know, sometimes, lady, it's hard not to. When we talk about the pain our people are going through now, and let me turn to the course of a topic, the geopolitics and geoeconomics in ASEAN. Since we have provided enough framework for our show for this evening, let's dive into a subject now, geopolitics and geoeconomics in ASEAN. Kalyan, let's start with you and let Chhyna cool down.
Okay, well, thank you, Bong.
Yes, cool down, Chhyna. We have a long way to go here.
I
But
know.
Thank you, Bong, you know, for allowing me to start on this, you know. Let
Okay.
me get the ground framework out first to have a clear picture. Loc Boutin has laid out a very constructive plan for developing our country. Everyone has heard that Loc Boutin said that our country would see a tremendous improvement within 5 years after the new Khmer Republic takes over. And you know, Loc Boutin, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam has a 5 years, 10 years, 20, and 30 years plan. Cambodia has been at the base of ASEAN, and the older members of ASEAN do not want Cambodia to be part of ASEAN. The past and present leaders are dictators with communist ideology. As we have said, you know, ASEAN was created on principle to deter communist aggression. But after deliberation under the leadership of Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, the new Khmer Republic government will be viewed very strong, and we will be the key member of ASEAN that will fight off communism. And for the first time, we will have a respect from Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Bong?
That is correct, Bong Kalyan. The ASEAN market will be the most sought after. The ASEAN workforce is excellent and very aggressive, with with a 650 million plus population and a workforce of 350 million. 60% of the crew are under 30 years old. To compete with the global market, ASEAN needs to improve its infrastructure. In 2016, one of the reports stated that ASEAN nations will require around $3 trillion in infrastructure's investment before 2016 and 2030. What does this mean, ladies? You know?
Yeah, you know, Chhyna, this means when we have the sole heir and owner of the combined international collateral accounts of the global debt facility, every financial funding of this magnitude will have to run through Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam. And Cambodia will be viewed as the financial apparatus of ASEAN. Cambodia will be holding the money back of ASEAN. And the geopolitical in ASEAN will be shifted from darkness to brightness in Cambodia.
Thank you, Kalyan. What is the focus of vision of ASEAN year 2030 on Chhyna?
Bong, that is an excellent question, Bong Chhovy. I want to jump on this question, you know, for you, Bong Chhovy.
Yes, please do, On.
Okay, well, thank you. We know that ASEAN has short and long-term goals and objectives. For their short goal, their visions could see the ASEAN region making a giant stride towards becoming a digital economy and a digital society for the next 5 years. They have 3 goals to accomplish, and the new Khmer Republic government will be ready for this challenge, Bong.
Yes, you're correct, Chhyna. You know, the new Khmer Republic will be there. Loc Boutin, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam has the resources to get off the ground and run with digital technology. You know, with 9 regions and 209 countries at Loc Boutin's disposal, should not be any problems.
Wow. How about the human resources? We know that Loc Boutin, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam capability already. What can you share on this, Kalyan?
You know, Bong, our human resources has been overlooked by this dictator government. You know, our human resources inside and outside the country are tremendous. Inside the country, we have an average of about 60,000 graduates every year that need the job market to join. And outside the country, Kon Khmer has been educated and worked in technical professional fields in the United States, Europe, and Australia. And they have, you know, they would be a massive part to springboard to compete with other ASEAN members like Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, and Indonesia. And I'm talking about joining a private sector for the economy.
Okay, let's come back to Chhyna. Chhyna, you said a digital economy and digital society. Can you please clarify what it means so our audience can understand better on?
Well, Bong, first of all, we must compete at the same level with all the ASEAN countries to capture the major of the marketplace. It would be an embarrassment and absolutely shameful if we can't compete, because with such a great leader that we have, like Luc Patin, there's no reason not to be the leader of ASEAN. Don't you all believe that? Mm-hmm. And this won't happen overnight, but we must set our goal to strive to be the best. Here is, what I am referring to. The three objectives are: one, everyone must have internet and cell phone capability or connectivity. And then two, every member's state enterprise, large or small, must have digital services. And then three, every member state must be able to conduct commerce via digital services, Bong.
Yeah, the market has shifted from mall and store concept retail, online shopping and carry delivery, plus a substantial portion of ASEAN population own broadband device, either fixed or mobile. The cloud data storage services could make it possible by delivering an innovative and functionality at a low cost for the advanced, ASEAN member state. We need to ask ourselves, are we on this? Singapore and the leader in the digital economy and having, a ratio of 1.5 phone number per person, and everyone is, connecting the internet. And South Korean has the faster internet servicing in a region, lady.
Yes, Bong, you are correct, Bong. Singapore is leading in ASEAN, and South Korea has the best internet connective speed. The other member state must have digital infrastructure improvements to serve the demand of the digital economy or digital society. This is where Luc Patin will play an essential role in underwriting their financial requirements to finance their $1 trillion projects. Now, ladies, now you can see how the region political landscape and the world will shift after SCKHK take control of the country.
Yes.
Bong, the COVID-19 pandemic is an eye-opener for the policymaker, regulators, and businesses alike to take the advantage of digital, and which enabled a wide range of economic activities. What this means is that in order to advance and to stay competitive, they must invest in a digital infrastructure, which means a heavy investment that requires private sector funding, and it will be played into Luc Patin's hand. Luc Patin will be in control, Bong.
Okay, now I see what this digital economy and society will look like. But how will we catch up the other, ASEAN member that are much more advanced than us, meaning Cambodia?
Well, Bong, you are right, Bong. Other ASEAN members are much more advanced than us. They might have more advanced infrastructure than us and more engineering than us. That should not be a difficult hurdle to overcome. And here is what we have. Those other countries do not have. We have the unlimited financial resources to invest in more modern digital infrastructure on the latest state of the art in IT system. And two, we have Dr. Ray C. Dam, who controls 209 countries in 9 regions. And our technology resources are Australia, France, India, Japan, South Korea, the United States, and the UK, Bong. They have the latest technology, and Luc Patin's already invested $50 billion with the Australian satellite firm last year. And, I'm not too worried about that at all, Bong. And 3, the other concern is human resources. But Lookportian also has many equity interests in the major IT firms or clients that can plug and play with any IT or coding support at the snap of his fingers. Plus, this will be a technology transfer scenario.
Thank you, On. Technology transfer, what is it, On? Chhyna, can you share with us?
Chhovy, Kalyan refers to a unique arrangement with the host or principal technology owner. This scenario only happens with a long-term relationship. We are in the perfect positions to have this kind of scenario. The professional meaning of technology transfer is the transfer of new technology from the originator to a secondary user, especially from developed to less developed country, to boost their economies. In simple, the source owner brings their technology to set up shop a factory in Cambodia and then train Cambodian at the same time. Leave the skill with our people to run the operation. This means our people will learn on the job training and produce simultaneously. This is a faster to shift from low-paying labor job like garment factories.
Wow.
Yes, and Chhyna, guess what? This is where Cambodia will change, the dynamic of geopolitics and geoeconomics in ASEAN. We have the money and we will have the technology at our demands. The stability will be even more when Koh Tao is under the new Khmer Republic government control. This island will be the most protected island globally by the superpower nations like the naval fleets or the armed forces. Ladies, this is what's called the stability of power.
Okay.
I'm speechless, Chhovy.
Yeah, me too. Okay, we shift our attention to geo-economics to get an idea what is significant to for today's economy. Chhyna, can you first go? Can you share your thought on this subject on?
Yes, of course, Bong. We must look at the world from a different perspective if we want to compete and have a robust economy. The economic should have no border, but we need to have the ability to reach it. We need to have a political, financial, and leverage cloud to engage, capture, and share the market. E-commerce is a way of business nowadays, Bong. People are expected more for their money, more choices, and fast services with integrity. However, could get it done first, gets the business, and will control the geo-economic market, Bong.
Thank you. Let me get some clarification. When we're talking about the geopolitics or geo-economics, we cannot ignore, the superpower nation like China and the United States. What can we share with our audience about, what is the new Khmer Republic position or ability to fence off this two superpower? On Kalyan, what is your opinion on this, On?
Oh, well, this is a susceptible area to discuss and no one has the exact answer, Bong. But, I could share what Singapore Prime Minister said during his interview with the Council on Foreign Relations in Washington, D.C. back on March the 30th of this year. Because of Singapore's global business footprint, when one or two of the trading partners has issue with each other and it's become tough to work, still, I hope to find a way to do win-win cooperation because they depend on globalization to make a living. Now, this will be the same for us if we wish to have the global market beyond our borders. But, our position is different than Singapore because we have a different leadership. His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, he is a chairman of the UNOITC. And, our political footprints will be global of 209 countries in 9 regions with thousands of proxy groups of consortium of a national corporation. Now, more importantly, we have all the financial apparatus globally. And as all of the central banks in the United States, United Kingdom, the European Union, and Southeast Asia, such as the HSBC Hong Kong, which stands for Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation in the UK, Barclays in the UK, RBS stands for Royal Bank of Scotland in London, UBS stands for Union Bank of Switzerland in Zurich. UOB stands for United Overseas Bank, Singapore. DBS, which stands for Development Bank of Singapore. Bong.
Oh.
You know, Bong Chhovy, what Bong Kalyan just said regarding Dr. Lee Hsien-loong said on March 30th, 2022, during the Council on Foreign Related interview, I would like to add one comment he made that's pertinent. He expressed the concern of the world leader about Russia invading Ukraine on February 24th, 2022. And he went on to add, and I quote, Mr. Abe, in Japan says we should consider hosting a US nuclear weapon. We mean all the small country in East and Southeast Asia.
Thank you, Owen. Earlier, Kalyan listed the financial strength of Loc Patin. Do you think, it is enough, Owen, Kalyan?
Yeah, well, you know what I mentioned earlier might not be enough, but Loc Patin is a very organized planner. He covers every rabbit hole and possible scenario. And the leverage of the political cloud, which all called KHMER should be proud, is our Loc Patin Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam, who is the commander-in-chief of the country. And earlier we mentioned Cotrol Island. This island will be the financial center of the global asset, if I am not mistaken.
Wow.
And sometime last year, Loc Patin listed 1,000 metric tons of bullion gold to Royal Bank of Canada at the rate payment of $100 million per month for 10 years. And we have UNOITC present in Chhyna, which is UNOITC Chhyna, and UNOITC Macau. Loc Patin has a $10 trillion credit lines from the oldest trust in Switzerland and in the European banking community. And His Excellency is a sole heir to global combined collateral accounts and also a sole signature of the Alpha Omega account. And also back on October the 27th, 2020, the world body, including the United States Congress on both houses, reconfirmed, revalidated, and re-ratified His Excellency Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam's financial authorities. And all the above that mentioned are beyond any other worldly leader that could even come close to Loc Patin, Professor Dr. Ray C. Dam.
Yes.
And ladies, I'm saying this very proudly, and I am sure that you ladies are too.
Yes, of course, Bong.
Yes, Kalyan. I believe that the item that you mentioned above is no one can top our Loc Patin. Now I need to bring you lady back to the attention of the economics. What can you lady share about how we could base a mobile or economy to compete with the stronger and significantly developed country like Singapore, you just mentioned earlier, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, or Indonesia, on Kalyan?
Well, Bong, I have something to share with everyone here from what I have discussed with Bong Sorapek regarding to this. The Bong Sorapek recommended that my husband and I, we study the principle of economics by Dr. Adam Smith. And the father of economics, he was born on the east coast of Scotland in the UK. And there are plenty of readings and documents regarding Dr. Adam Smith economics theory, which was discovered back in 1776. To compete with the countries you just mentioned, Bong, Dr. Adam Smith economics theory must apply to our growth plan. And I would like to share two main principles of his economic study theory. There's many more, but I'm just going to bring two main principles. One is division of labor. Two is invisible hand. Per Dr. Adam Smith, the invisible hands refers to increase in productivity by 20 folds, which means like 1 to 20. We have 1, we must increase it to 20, okay? And the invisible hand, Dr. Adam Smith is referring to capitalist market.
Bong Kalyan, Bong Chhovy, to compete with others, our productivity must increase to measure up to the competition. After all, we have been at the bottom of ASEAN too long. already, long enough to self-destructions, and we are not too far from self-destruction, Mong, especially with the Vietnamese. They will soon be the majority to occupy our land. So the Vietnamese population is about 8 million out of 17 million people in Khmer land. That's when he brought up the data the last time we have heard, that's how much Vietnamese are occupying right now in Cambodia.
Oh, okay. Chhyna.
Oh, ladies,
Yes.
kicking up, go ahead, Mom. I'm stuck here. I'm just something on my mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Earlier, I want to appreciate the anger of Chhyna.
I didn't know she got angry. That's why my mind just blocked.
Yeah, voice about her. So,
talking about our country, I am so angry. I really want change to get done, because Khmer, we can't live under the Vietnamese forever. It's time to change.
Yeah,
we all need to get up.
I am too.
Together.
But our hope is here. We all need to do this, to kick the traitor and his family out of our country. I know how you feel.
I don't
have any comment?
Yeah, but ladies, kicking the traitors and his family out of the country is an easy part. The hard part is to maintain and improve the Khmer quality of life. And Luc Patien has all the solutions to make Khmer great again. But you know what? It must start with us here. And with Dr. Adam Smith's economic philosophy, we must have the sure principle to build a better nation with a strong economy.
Yes.
Well, I agree with you, On Kalyan. Every time On Chhyna jump, it makes my blood
makes you jump too. I'm sorry.
Can you please continue with Dr. Adam Smith theory, if you can, On Kalyan?
Sure, Bong, to compete with today's market, especially as we said during our roundtable show last month, ASEAN market is very competitive. We must be prepared to compete. If not, we are preparing to fail, Bong.
Bong, that is correct. Preparation is everything. I am interested to hear more about the divisions of labor, Bong Kalyan. Can you please kind of give us all a sense of clarification on it?
Sure. I'll be happy to, Chhyna. In his book, Dr. Adam Smith theory is widely used. And one in particular, it's the Henry Ford assembly line. And now it has been practiced in all the production assemblies around the world. When production volume increases, the price becomes competitive. And of course, the market share will increase.
On Kalyan, you said Dr. Adam Smith theory of division of labor would increase productivity by 20-fold increase. Can you please elaborate on this theory, please?
Well, sure, Bong. Our country has been doing business backward. This is the reason. Sure. This is the reason that the annihilation agenda by the communist Ho Chi Minh, we need to jump off that culture right now. Even our human resources have been collectively built inside and outside the country in the last 40 years, which will not be adequate to compete. But we must work smarter and be prepared to compete ahead of the curve.
I totally agree with Bong Kalyan, Bong Chhovy. We must work smarter and more efficiently.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, and with today's market in globalization, because the internet information system drives everything. For smaller and weaker nations like us, Cambodia, we must utilize all available tools.
Yes, as I recall, the Australian firm Luc Patien, Professor Dr. Ray Sedam already invested something like 50 billion, lady. 50 billion, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
A lot of money to Bong Chhovy.
Oh.
You are right, Bong. You are correct. As I have said, the division of labor will empower individuals or companies to strive for higher output and quality. And this will lead to R&D, research and development, improving output and equality by investing in better tools. And you just said it, Bong, Luc Patien is already ahead of the game. And let me remind everyone and add to this, even Dr. Adam Smith theory, Luc Batien's 4 pillars principle are essential for developing the economy to become a powerhouse. 1 is principles, 2, action plans, 3, objective and goal, and 4, projects.
Wow.
Bong, the road is rebuilding our economy and country will be led through Luc Batien master plan of the 4 that you just mentioned, the 4 pillars, which is written in Khmer language also, Bong. It is very much needed with the ASEAN being a dynamic market, like you mentioned earlier. But we need to be prepared, and Luc Batien Professor Dr. Sidam structure is solid. So yes, the market is dynamic. The e-commerce market has no border. The brick and mortar store are shutting down, and online presence store are popping up like spring mushroom.
We are close to the end of our show tonight, and I would like to recap what we have covered. 1, ASEAN market and politics, and 2, Professor Dr. Ray Sidam, leadership and ability. 3, Adam Smith, economy theory. But we have not covered the potential e-commerce economy that Cambodian should be facing, if we expand our economy in that direction, lady.
No, Bong, we should not sell ourselves short in expanding our economy. We should set our sight on becoming the powerful house in ASEAN. Even it takes, 30 years to do so. And I firmly believe that we can do it, and we must do it. There are 3 areas that we must focus on. 1 is to improve the productivity of goods. 2 is to improve the productivity of services, of labor. And 3, we could deliver the products, services better than our competitors.
Again, I have to agree with you, Kalyan. You know what? We are teams. We have to agree every time, right? So we have all the main components to accomplish our objective goal of making our country great again. Our ventures, our startup needs capital to make the experience successful. The 99% failure of the new ventures is due to a lack of capital and expertise. And the other one is poor planning. In 2016, Luc Batien started his planning with the best money he could buy from advisors worldwide. He made an offer that they could not refuse, Bong.
Kalyan, you said Dr. Adam Smith theory of division of labor project 20-fold increase in production output. Currently, Cambodian GDP is 26 billion, and with 20-fold, I am, smiling at the potential of a 520 billion GDP.
Oh yes, Bong. In theory, it is true, but the actual life is more complicated. But we must work very hard to make this happen, Bong. Our infrastructure will be newer than all the neighboring countries. Our budget is unlimited. Our leader is the most influential person on this planet. We have enough human resources to fulfill the needs. Do not forget that our fellow Khmer that are living in the United States, Europe, Australia are professionals with excellent skills and are ready to plug and play scenarios. And some of them have been trained for like 40 years plus. We have all the land and natural resources to meet the requirement. And Luc Batien global of companies in 9 regions is ready to support like Israel, the UK, the Middle East nation, and the United States.
Okay, that is a very compelling list that you have here on, but I would like to use it to clarify what industrial sector we already share with our audience. Chhyna, can you please help me on this one?
Yes, Bong Chhovy, Luc Batien is a brilliant man. He went out to secure a very experienced global company that were established in 1978. The conglomerate cover the following sector. Let me read down my list, okay, because I don't remember everything. 1 is infrastructure. 2 is energy, oil and gas. 3, manufacturing. 4, material handling equipment. Number 5, global trading. Number 6, agricultural business. Number 7, travel and tourism. Number 8, property development. Number 9, investment. Number 10, healthcare. And last, education sectors, Bong.
Wow.
And this list is remarkably impressive, don't you think?
Yes,
Very impressive.
That is a very impressive list on Chhyna. We are running out of time, but we must, ask a question. Please clarify when you lady, mentioned the item technology. Can you lady explain a little more? I know that we are talking potential only at this moment. Kalyan, can you enlighten us on this one?
Sure, Bong. I will try to explain whatever I can within the time that we have left here. Here's my reason why we could have a technology transfer scenario. One, we have Silicon Valley in California. This is the heart of tech world, right, ladies?
Yes.
Yes. And 2, we have Israel, which, Lopatian's closest ally. 3, foreign corporations need tax haven with reliable banking support. And 4, e-commerce business is leaping and bouncing around the world, especially in Southeast Asia after the COVID-19. With all the factors that I just mentioned, we should seriously consider the following sector, which with higher paying labor, the service that require labor services to increase our GDP. This is a chance to lead the garment sector for a higher paying delivery, like 1, the electronic contract manufacturing service, like the Foxconn. 2, bring the tax industry to Cambodia that needs tax saving. And 3, aerospace service industry. Okay, I am not talking about we're building aerospace or space rocket or airplanes, or the SpaceX. Okay, I'm not talking about those.
No.
A few weeks ago, I saw an article in Phnom Penh Post. It's about a Thai firm starting a technical aviation training school in Cambodia, and eventually it will lead to the MRO, maintenance, repair, and overhaul operation for the aircraft maintenance facility in Cambodia, which means they will start that school and later on they can open up a facility to fix all the plane that's coming in and out. And they'll be the owner of it, not KHMER. This is what I mean by about servicing the aircraft. And a lot of KHMER in the States are fixing big airplanes like Boeing. In Washington State.
That's an aeronautics engineering department.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why would we let the foreigner come in and make all the money on KHMER sweat?
Exactly.
All KHMER need is an opportunity which Lopatian will give to all of them. And that's what I'm saying. We able to do the MRO, maintenance, repair, overhaul services. Right now, it is a 250 billion plus industry. And guess what? Singapore captured 10% of it, providing services to, the FedEx, the delivery airplane or the UPS.
Yes.
Plus, we have the location to support and fulfillment services center for the airport capacity. And UPS is the leading in fulfillment provider in the world of the e-commerce industry. We need to do is to provide finance and security for the investment, which I know that, the new Khmer government should be able to provide without any issues under Lopatian's leadership. And I hope, this is a quick analysis to help out for the time being right now.
Thank you, Kalyan. That is a impressive 2 minutes. And now we time has come to an end. When you have fun, time is indeed fly, ladies. I know I would like to invite both of you, lady, to make your closing remark. Let's start with Kalyan first. Again, Kalyan.
Well, thank you, Morgan. I also want to add that KHMER are very smart nowadays. They are so smart.
I totally agreed. Yes, Mom.
We should not let other country come and be our what do you call it, boss, you know, we're able to do it ourselves. KHMER can do it themselves. Okay. Yes. And thank you, Bong, Chhovy, and on Chhyna, you know, and I would like to close out tonight with this message. As we're moving forward into the millennium or the next into the future, we must capture the majority of the economy in ASEAN. You know, we owe it to our country. We have the resources to do it, especially Lopatien, Professor Dr. Racy Dam. You know, I do not want to sound reckless on this subject, but I am humbly believe that we have the right to be the best economy in ASEAN, you know, because of Lopatien, of course, you know. He will play the major role in ASEAN economy. And, you know, and I'm going to make it clear, you know, I would like to make it clear here, you know, we have all the natural, all the resources to build the best industrial complex in the world. We have Dr. Racy Dam, which is, you know, who is the most influential person on this planet. You know, the world mandate was to stop communist expansion back in 1945. And now we have the perfect person for the job, no other than His Excellency Professor Dr. Racy Dam. You know, this means Hun Sen serving as China's mandate to expand communism in ASEAN Pacific will not happen. And as you have seen, you know, the world is protesting with China, military presence on, you know, the foreign soil. SCKHK will not allow Chinese military presence on our soil. And, you know, sorry, Bong, just a few more minutes here. I have one last question to ask. You know, as ASEAN, should we choose China or the United States? I have a perfect answer, okay? Very simple, ladies.
Well, let us know, Bong. What is the perfect answer?
Yes, perfect answer here.
Dying to hear it.
Okay. You know, the creation of ASEAN was created to deter communists. And China is communist. China is communist.
Yes.
Okay. So my answer would be neither one, either China or the United States. My answer will be ASEAN should take Professor Dr. Racy Dam, who is the best in both worlds, because they, you know, they have both superpower due to Lopatien crafty political wisdom, financial apparatus, financial influence. And regardless, you know, please keep in mind that Professor Dr. Racy Dam is the product of Committee 300, which is the free world.
Yay.
So, yes. And, you know, therefore, I'm very clear that the liberation will take place very soon. And, but in the meantime, ladies, you know, we shall, yes, we shall all give our best back to Lopatien for his hard work. You know, and before I end, I would also like to, I should not, you know, my husband going to kill me. I would just like to thank him for helping out the translation and pointing me to look up here and there, you know, without, you know, I'm bothering him. He just, you know, push here for me. So I would like to thank him for, for all, you know, guiding me.
Well, yeah.
Okay. And, you know, and I'm done. And, but.
So you're done. Yeah, oh, okay. I thought you have another 5 minutes.
One more. You know, as for tonight, you know, may Lord Buddha bless Lopatien. That means Savan, Lukbang Sorapet, all SCKHK members and supporters. And thank you and good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, and very well. Okay, on to
you know, basically, Bong Chhovy, Bong Kalyan, you basically covered everything the world needs to know. Therefore, I don't have much to say, but just a few came to mind. A few things came to mind. You know, like what Bong Kalyan just said, I wanted to say in KHMER, from now, when we liberate KHMER land, Lopatien will never, you know, we have this opportunity where Lopatien will never let Pua Yun, Chen, Yong, Kumani, Mater Srai, Look Long KHMER Tite, Bong Srai. Okay. So, like Bong mentioned, like, you know, this news has been circulating that the ASEAN Pacific is going to be the hottest market in the world. Cambodia is in the center of everything here in Southeast Asia. Everyone needs to know Lopatien, you know, everybody needs Lopatien's help, right? Yes, Professor Dr. Racy Dam is the most powerful, financial, influential person in the world, like Kalyan mentioned. We should seize this opportunity to make Khmer great again. We all need to stand together in collaborations. Now is the time for us to reunite, and if we don't, no other countries will, will, and not even United States of America. So wake up. Let's do the walk together and make our country great again. Just like the American proverb, together we stand, divided we fall. Right. This time we can't fall. We have Lok Patin, as Bong Kalyan mentioned, like in the middle of our sessions program, that Lok Patin is a sole heir to global combined collateral accounts, sole signature of the Alpha Mega account. He is the most powerful financial influence person in the world. And thank you. Good night, everyone. I will see you all again during our next program. Appreciate your tuning in. Bong Chhovy, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, lady. Both of you are wonderful as always. And my thought tonight is I want to reach out all Kon Khmer, near or far, that have been following us and supporting every show, and have been making a lovely comment. I am very grateful for your support. Send our journey forward to liberate our country is very, very near. Your loyal support means so much to us. Our Lady Viewpoint group is working very, very, very hard to bring awareness to all Kon Khmer worldwide to know the truth. We only share the truth, nothing but the truth. May our Buddha continue to bless all Kon Khmer, especially Lok Patin, His Excellency Professor Dr. Racy Dam, for his love for our country. Thank you again on behalf of our Khmer Lady Viewpoint. We would like to thank you, His Excellency Professor Dr. Racy Dam and Luk Pich, Luk Mi Swanho, and all SCKHK member. Of course, last but not least, all our supporters around the globe. As committed, the Supreme Council of Khmer for Rescue will ensure that all traitors will be brought to justice. If you want to be part of the history, please contact us, Khmer Lady Viewpoint team, or you could go racydam.org to become SCKHK member. Until we meet again next month, please follow Khmer Politics and Supreme Council of Khmer for Rescue. If you find this show of value, please share it. And everyone, have a happy 4th of July, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
យើងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្នាសូមថ្លែងអំណរអគុណដល់អស់លោកស្រីប្រិយមិត្តតែងតែតាមដានកម្មវិធីទស្សនៈស្ត្រីនៃឧត្តមក្រុមប្រឹក្សាខ្មែរជួយខ្មែររំដោះជាតិយើងនឹងវិលជួបអស់លោកស្រីសារជាថ្មីនៅវេលាក្រោយសូមអរគុណគ្រប់ជំរាបលាអរគុណច្រើន